You're now tuned in to another episode of Juicy Gems, your go-to podcast for everything related to the world of stocks. Discover new trade ideas, current stock market trends, and option trading tips, exclusive interviews with other successful traders, and so much more. Let's go! Welcome to Juicy Gems. Now with your host, Xavier the Master Trader.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Juicy Gems. My name is Xavier, also known as the Master Trader. I'm a 10-year trading veteran with 8 back-to-back green years, former financial advisor and leader and commander-in-chief of Team Precision. Now, going forward with Juicy Gems, just for the accessibility of it, there's a couple episodes that we recorded on Twitter Spaces. This is another one of these episodes. I'm sitting down here with my peers, and we are breaking down the secrets, the pro tips, and tricks that you guys need to get started with your trading career and things that you need to incorporate into your trading career. Now, you're going to hear a brief pause, and then we're going to go ahead and hear the audio. So the audio is going to start in 3, 2, 1.
All right, guys, what's going on? Let's talk about today, man. Today was a great day. Just want to say, thank you guys for your support. Now I'm pushing a 51 win streak. 51-day win streak. The longest win streak of my career was 73 days. My goal is to get that, try to get to that 74. I don't want to get to 74 and then hit a red day, but I'm trying to get that. So my top trades today was Rivian short. We also had, let me check here. We had Tesla for a small loss. We had Netflix long, and then we had AMD. If you guys came to the midweek update that we did last night, I basically broke all those tickers down and how to play all those tickers. And basically, we went 3 for 4. And that's what it's going to lead me into today's conversation, man. You want to figure out how to do this. You want to make this your job. You want to be successful in this. You want to, leave your current job, change your situation. You must first become successful in trading, all right? And this is a long road. I just want to get everybody down and get everybody on the same page. Not only is this a long road and hard journey, there's going to be a lot of headaches, upsets. There's going to be a lot of disappointments. So you got to come in with the love for the game, man. Like, if you're trading for money, trading is always going to be a hobby for you. It's going to be like a casino, right? Because if you're trading for money, you're going to look at trading as this way of making money. Yeah, making money, and people confuse this. Trading isn't theoretically about making money, but people confuse it because money's involved, money's used to make money. So therefore, the average user or the average trader, when they first get into this, they can only phantom the thought of creating money, so they focus on money. Why is that a hinder? If you're looking at a trade, and if you ever get into a trade and say, I'm going to take Apple for 20% gain, you're already shooting yourself in the foot. When I look at a trade, I say, hey, here's my trigger. There's my target. Here's my stop. I'm 3 to 1 risk to reward. I'm in the trade, and it's all about what the trade's doing. If you start focusing on money all the time, percentages all the time, what's going to happen is you're never going to be able to execute your trading plan. So let's go ahead and bring this back to the basics. How do you even get going? First things first, trading, there's no one way for you to make money in this market. There's so many people out here doing so many different things that I might not agree with, and I might be doing things that people or other successful traders are doing, and they might not agree with. There's patterns, there is reversals, there's the strat, there is price actions, there's indicators, there's so many different avenues of making money. But one commonality of all of them is you usually have a stock that moves, consolidates in some way, shape, or form, in some type of time frame. And on that break of that consolidation, you get that continuation or the reversal back to a different area. That's the commonality amongst all successful trading plans. And if you think about it, most successful people pretty much are trading the same thing. You might call it strategy A or strategy B, but no matter how you look at it, maybe strategy A is on a longer term time frame, and strategy B is on a shorter term time frame. But essentially, we're almost always trading the same type of actual setup. So let's get that out the way. Okay. So first things first, when you're trying to dig down and get into this, you understand that, this is a long game. Before we even start talking about where to get started, we need to correct the actual mindset of what needs to be achieved. So when you're becoming a trader, know that you're becoming a trader, right? Trading is what you're doing, not pushing buttons to make money. You're pushing buttons to execute trades. Now, what everybody gets messed up at, as I said this before in a couple other spaces, is that you have to come into the game with the understanding that before you can take 25K to 100K, 5K to 100K, you must first become profitable. And before you can become profitable, you must first become a break-even trader. Stop trying to jump steps. Stop trying to, jump from place to place. And I know there's a lot of people, including myself, that might share gains, but you don't know how long or what that person did to get to that level, right? Like for me, I've been trading for 10 years. And I pretty much, all I do is study strategies and back test and look at every strategy out there. I pretty much try to study it, test it, and fail it. And I'm always looking for new. So, of course, me as a disciplined trader, me as a trader that's back testing strategies, I'm going to throw big numbers out the board because I've built a big account. So if you're following me, you're seeing, hey, I took 134% on Netflix in a day. That's a lot of hard work for me to get to that level to put that output out. And by you coming into the game and saying, you know what, I'm going to make 100K this year, you're skipping all that. So first things first, get to a place where you become break even. Like what you're about to do, all the odds are against you. Like 100% of everything you're doing right now is 100% against you. There's a 95% chance that you're going to fail. Just get that through your head. And now what you're saying is you've never traded. There's 95% chance you're going to get to fail. And now you're just going to go be a profitable trader. That's not how it works. And that's why the majority of people fail. What you need to do is, number one, focus on break even. Number two, become profitable. And then number three, stay profitable for a year at least, right? And keep it small. You might have 300K in the bank, 100K in the bank. You might be a corporate executive, or maybe you have no money. But in that year that you become profitable, you need to sustain that profitability. You need to prove to yourself that you're ready to try to do this full time. Because at the end of the day, you can become profitable in 3 months. And like I said before, trading's a mindset game. And once you start winning, especially if you go on a win streak, your mindset's different, bro. I'm telling you, you take 50-day win streak, you don't think the same, especially if you're new. Like, and eventually that's going to trickle over to your mindset and your decision making in trading. Because like I said once before, trading is nothing more than a decision making game. Okay, so going back to it, now we got our focus on, look, I want to be a break-even trader. So what do we do? Now, there's many ways of learning. There's Twitter Spaces, there's influencers, there's YouTube, right? There's free content, there's paid content. Let's talk about free and paid content. You're going to need to learn something, right? Back in the day for me, I put money in the market and I experimented and I failed, and I basically did it like a data scientist. Like this is what worked, that's what worked, and that's what didn't work. Please don't try to do that, because what happened was I was losing money left and right. I would make money, down, lose it right back because I didn't have a structure. Now you got YouTube. Now here's the thing: you have YouTube, you have simulation. Now you don't really need to data scientists go to a whiteboard and figure it out. You can basically pick up a system off free content. Now a lot of guys who put out free content aren't going to give you the whole system, but they're going to get bits and pieces of it, and that's fine. Now, if you're going to try to make the free content phase work, you have to be balls to walls. Meaning, if you're a quitter, don't do it. Just go for paid content. Just know that it's going to be really hard for you, and you're going to take losses. So in the beginning, start small. I highly recommend you start with simulation and then do what I call 50 trade back test. You need to take this trade 50 trades. You need to log your fucking trades. The most important thing that you can do is log your fucking trades. If you're not logging your trades, just hang it up. Walk out the room. So you take 50 trades, and let's say system one you took, it didn't work out. It's like, damn, I took these 50 trades. It was negative. Boom, that's fine. That's part of the game. You're learning. That system is not going to fit for you. There's a lot of people out here that trade certain systems and do very well. And then some other people try to adapt that system, and it's like, fuck, what am I doing, right? It doesn't work for you. So you're going to have to do this a couple times, and then you're going to have to experiment and figure that out on your own. You're going to take losses, and you're going to flip-flop. That's the harder way. Now, there's paid content. Now, I like to say you can only get so far on free content. There's paid content. Now, why people charge for paying is for time to develop that content, right? There's a lot of free things on YouTube that people charge for, but there's a reason why 95% of traders fail, and they all have access to the same free information. You need somebody's going to articulate and piece together that content in a way that's easy for you to understand, implement, and guide you. That's 100% worth it, in my opinion, right? So figure out a system is what I'm trying to get at. Whether it's free and you're experimenting, or if you're paid, you still got to experiment. If you pay for some content, you're still taking a risk. It might not work for you. Honestly, for me, shit, the minute I started making money trading, yeah, I bought every system. I was like, look, because I became obsessed. You know, like a lot of people, if you're that type of person to pay for something and complain about it, don't become a trader, bro, because you're going to pay for an asset and sometimes it's not going to work and you're going to sit there and complain about it. Like, you should be fucking obsessed, because that's what's going to be needed for you to win in this fucking game. If you're not fucking like, oh, my trades are crazy, you shouldn't be trying to do this, right? So get your system down. You got your system down. Now you got your system down. You're learning. You're focused. Now you're like, all right, look, everything's right. Right? I just want to implement some trades, see how it goes, and then once I get some trades on the board, I can make my adjustments, because that's all trading is trial and error. You're learning, studying the knowledge, applying the knowledge, and then studying the results. And once you study the results, you change up what needs to be changed so you can get to your goal. Like, a lot of people don't think like this. They just go straight to trading. And that's why they fucking fail, because they skip all this shit. Don't do that. Do what I'm telling you to do. Okay, you got your system. You got a trade log. Now you do 50 trades. You got your 50 trades. Now we got to focus on your review. In my review, I go through every trade I took. And not just the trades that I took. I go through, if I'm trading Apple, I want to see what the Qs did. Did the Qs go up? Did I go long? Did the Qs go up? Did I go Apple short? You know what I mean? I want to see that stuff, and I want to take pictures of everything. Man, if you show me a trade log, you're on my team, you know I'm going to be upset if you show me a log that just says, I traded Apple today, I bought at 5, sold at 10. That don't do nothing for me. Yeah, you made money today, but when you lose money, I can't tell you what you're doing wrong. But if you take pictures and point out where you bought, where you sold, it takes the game to a different level, because you see what you're doing. Like, it mind boggles me that you're going to attempt to learn and attempt to do the thing that most people fail at, but you don't have the decency to fucking go back and look at the trades you're doing, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Now you're complaining that you're red. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? You have to log your trade. It just has to happen. If it goes out of your account, it has to come back in and log. Because if you don't log, here's the thing. Let's talk about the real reason to log, and the real reason I like to make people log, and the secret of why we like logging. When you log and see what you're doing, not only do you see the data, you know what you're doing wrong, but once you get it to a place where it's right, you fall in love with that process, and therefore you won't cheat on that process. So therefore you will always implement and repeat that fucking process. And if you can just do the same thing one time and just start repeating that shit over and over and over again, guess what? You make fucking money. Like, everybody wants financial freedom. Everybody wants this Ferrari. Everybody wants the Lamborghini. Everybody wants the private jet. And they're like, oh, I would do anything for it. But at the end of the day, you get into the cockpit of the system, and when you come to these spaces that I host, you get hyped. You're like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm with X. We're about to kill it. Then you get in the cockpit of the system, and then you start doing shit that's left and right from your process. The reason why, and I like to tell people straight up, a lot of you guys listening, you should be on a seven-figure level. You should be right now 7-figure trader, but you keep fucking cheating on your discipline, and you keep jumping out of the system. Look, this is why I host these spaces, right? And I can tell you straight up about how I buy and how I sell. I could give 52 traders my exact system, how I trade and how I do things. But if you're not disciplined, you're going to blow the fuck up. It's all the game, right? How many times do you look at the market? Just think about this. How many times have you looked at the market and said, I'm going to trade Apple, Tesla, Facebook? And then let's say at the open, they don't trigger, meaning they don't hit the levels for you to buy at. Then you look at the market and you say, oh man, look at Netflix, it's running. You get Netflix to take a loss. Then you look back at Apple and Tesla and you're like, damn, these move. Damn. So now you hop back into these trades and take a loss because now you're chasing. That's why people don't win, because sorry, man, I'm going on a rant right now. I feel like I should have a mic in front of people right now at this point in my life, right? But that's why people don't win, because they're not really focusing on that. All right, so bring it back. Let's bring it back. All right, so you got your system. You understand you want to be break even. You got your trade log. You don't log your trades. What now? You logged your trades. You finally got a system together. And you're like, dude, I feel confident about this. I'm good. Like let's make some money. What do? You got to start small. So if you did this on simulation, there will be a difference. Let's talk about simulation. I like to say, once you get a system down, you need to earn the right to trade. Like, a lot of people are going to be upset about what I'm about to say, but I feel like it should be mandatory for you to trade on a simulated account. If you go to SMB Capital, which is probably one of the best prop trading firms in the world, Mike Bellafoy's there. This dude makes all his traders trade on simulation for like a year. Even if they good, they're like, dude, you're trading for a year. You can cut. I could go to SMB Capital right now. He's gonna make me trade on simulation for a year. It doesn't matter who you are, right? Why do you want to trade on simulation? New or old? If you're new, obviously this is new to you, right? If you're an experienced trader, if you're adapting a new system and you have a problem with trading on simulation, go take all your money out of your account and go to the casino. Because basically what you're saying is, hey, I'm gonna learn this new system from you and I'm gonna go try it out with real money. Just think about that. This money that I worked really hard for, I'm gonna just skip the whole testing stage and I'm gonna just go to the real life stage where there's a 95% chance of me failing. And by the way, I haven't been successful in the past, so therefore I'm just going to try it out with real. It sounds crazy. Get on simulation. Now do this. 3 months. I'm telling you, this changed the game for you. 3 fucking months. Just do this. Simulate trading that system for 1 month. Just trade on any balance. Just get it down. Get it in. See how it works. You like it? It feels good. You got your trades in. Boom. Month 2 comes. All right. So now you look back and you're like, all right, I got 50K in my real account. Let me drop my simulate K to 50K. Let me try it on 50K. Let me see if I can generate profitability, right? Because obviously there's going to be sizing difference, right? So boom, month 3 comes. It's like, okay, these last 2 months I've been on simulation. It's going well. Month 3 comes. For the first 2 weeks of month 3, trade with 1 fucking contract. I don't care if you have the best holy grail setup in the world and the market just fell off a cliff and you wanted to get short with all your money. Discipline. Trade with 1 contract. Next 2 weeks, bump that up to 5. You bump that up to 5 for those 2 weeks. You go back and you review all your trades. Again, that trade log. Review everything. Everything checks out. You go live on month 4 with your proper position sizing. Still half of your maximal position sizing. Basically, what you want to do is dip your toe in the water. Just imagine like a cold-ass bathtub. Most people ain't going to just jump in it. They're going to put their foot in the water first, 1 foot, then the other foot's going to come in. Then you're going to slowly put your knees in there, right? Same thing with the market. If you do this, your hit rate, when I work with students that follow this plan, which by the way are mainly women, like women that come to me that are in my trading team, they do everything I just told you to the T. And the majority of the women on my trading team are like killing it. It's the men that come in that's like, I don't need to fucking simulate. It's fucking bullshit, right? I ain't simulating shit. And then they take a hit and then they come back and redo this process and they end up doing well. All right, so now you've earned the right to trade. You're still not there. You're still not there, but you have a leg up. Now, the next part and the most important part of this game is just to become disciplined. Discipline, fucking discipline. You need to have discipline to not trade when the market's not giving you setups. You need to have discipline to wait on the sideline for the right opportunities to trade. You need to have discipline to not chase. You need to have discipline not to overtrade. You need to have discipline to sit the fuck down and have discipline to walk away. That's where most traders fail. It's not the fact that you don't know how to win. It's the fact that the matter is that this game is only 10% buying and selling. Everything else is psychological. Let me tell you something. Here's proof. 2019, I went through my losses. I did this 6 months ago. So 6 months ago was 2020, 2021, and I'm looking at 2019. That's how crazy my trade log and my review process is. I looked at all my losses in 2019. By the way, I did very well that year. All right, so I went through all my losses. And when I said this on another space, what I like to do is to compare my losses. Take all your losses out and put put them in two different categories. One category is called an acceptable loss category, and the other category is called an unacceptable loss category. Now, everything in the acceptable loss category, we're talking about the acceptable losses, sorry, is losses you took following your trading plan, which in my opinion is a win. Now, everything else is on the unacceptable losses category. So in 2019, 80% of all my losses were unacceptable. So if I just followed my fucking trading plan, I could have quadrupled everything I made in 2019. You see, everybody focuses on how much they made and how much they could have made, but nobody really focuses on how much they lost and what happened that caused you to lose that situation. And that's where the discipline comes from, the review. Because once you see it, you run these statistics, you break that shit down, you want to change it. Like trading is just, once you get a system, you could get a system that fucking hits for 10% every day. But if you know you're getting a good 10% with a 90% win rate off something that's not really as risky, all you got to do is compound. People don't look at that neither, right? They're so focused on the win rate. Win rate don't mean shit. Listen, you can have a 3-to-1 win rate. This happens a lot with swing traders. They might not have the highest win rate, but when they hit, right? And that's called risk to reward, right? So focus on discipline. Focus on just, even if it's like having disciplined goals. Like a lot of people don't have that. Like they have trading goals. I want to make this amount of money, but they don't have a discipline goal, right? So for me in the beginning, once I started making money, I was like obsessed. I was like, yo, I can push buttons. You know, I'm Wall Street. I'm the Wolf of Wall Street right now. I bought me some Versace shades. I'm the shit. So the problem was I was always pushing the goddamn button, right? So when I started reviewing my trades, I was like, dude, I need to make a goal. And it's crazy because when you're an over trader, it's like really hard for you not to trade. It's like, dude, you've legitimately in the course of 10 minutes got in and out of 10 trades. And for me, it was like, wow, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna limit my trades. So one of my goals that I had to check off was I set a goal for a month to only trade 2 times a day. So no matter what happens in the market, I'm only going to trade 2 times a day. That was the goal. And once I implemented that night and I started putting that in, basically what happens was I started trading less. And that's the name of the game. That's why a lot of traders fail, because they're going too fucking fast. The name of the game is to park it up. So let's break this down. We start talking about trading less. Yes, we mean don't put as many trades on, but the real concept I'm trying to get to you is you should be trading quality over quantity, right? Because quantity doesn't mean shit if you're losing money. Like if you take 100 trades and you win all those 100 trades, and then you take the next 99 trades and you lose all those 99 trades, you ain't do shit. So if you can break your trading plan down to say, because there's a lot of stocks in the market, out of these 200 stocks in the sector or whatever, let's say, I like these 4 stocks. Then when you break down those 4 stocks, you say, here's my edge. My edge lines up with these 2 stocks. Then you break it down and says, if these 2 stocks breaks these 2 levels, ticker 1, 25, ticker 2, 30. If it hits 25, I'm buying. My stop's at 30. My price target is at 70. I'm buying contracts 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, and I'm moving my stop up. Basically, what you're going to do is trade higher probability trades, and you're going to be able to hit those trades harder because all components of your trading plan is there. So when you start breaking it down in that sense, you start making more, because the flip side is what most people are doing, they're going on the fly. Like if you're coming to the market and you have no preparation, just send me your trading account. I'll send you my PayPal. Just send me that shit. I got you, right? But you need to get to the point where you're not just coming to the market and it's 9:35 and you're looking at Tesla and like, oh shit, Tesla's moving. I got to get in Tesla. You're going to get wrecked. Like you might win on some of those trades. And it's funny because the market has a way of trapping and fooling people, right? The market will reward bad behavior, and that's very dangerous. Like a lot of people don't think about this. You don't have a prepared plan. You came into the market today. You traded Tesla today. You made money on Tesla today. All your mind can think about is you made Tesla on this bullshit method that you just executed. That's the market's way of getting you excited so it can take it from you, right? Because down the road, it's going to take your money. So because you did a bad behavior and you're rewarded for it, the market's going to set you up for failure over the long term. because what people don't think is the long term. You won on this crazy trade for one time, but that's not going to work every time. You might go 1 for 50 on that win rate. And if you look at it, and again, if you don't log your trades, you don't really know these type of things. But if you look at it from a longer term perspective, you just got fucking wrecked. Right? So slow it down, log your trades, know everything that you're doing, so that therefore you can go ahead and take it to another fucking level. Right? I guess I should stop ranting. I got a lot of people in here. I got Rico. I got Ricky. Come on up. If you're on my team, you're a Juicy Trades team leader. Come on up. Man, I got hot in here, bro. Oh, man, I was ranting. My bad, man. Let's go ahead and get everybody up here. I see Rico. I'm going to bring up Rick. I'm going to bring up Wealth. And I see your request. Alicia, I'm going to bring you up here in a second. Let me get my people up here real quick. Get them situated.
What up? What up, X?
What up? I'm going to make you co-host, Phil. I'm sorry, Ricky. You and Phil going to be my co-host.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Sorry. What's good, guys? You hear me?
I hear you, brother.
The Wealth Prince. How are you, man?
Hey, Rick. I'm good, bro. How are you?
What's good? What's good?
What's up? So we got the gang on here.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Hello.
What's up?
Hey.
Oh man, what a while.
Yeah, I joined this space new. I'm new in there.
You new to Spaces or you new to trading?
We're new to Twitter and Space. Yeah. We recently joined. Yeah. Yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
And we really enjoy Space. Yeah, it's fun.
Great to have you.
So just to piggyback off this conversation we was going on, what's going on, Wealth Prince? What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm so happy. Smacked the market over. Well, not smacked the market, but came away with $800 gains today. So I'm happy with that. Hit SPY calls and SPY puts, and then AMD puts. So I'm happy with today. You know, I'm happy. Sorry, let me roll back a sec. Yesterday, so obviously the man Jerome came up and he was speaking and he tanked the market, right? And then I think SPY got to about 434 and it started to uptrend again. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab some calls now. And I just, got a couple contracts. And then it tanked to like 429. I was like, damn. I was like, I'm gonna hold it till tomorrow, so to today, and just hope it through. But I think, the market don't go lower than this. Obviously it worked out and SPY went to 441 today. And then while it was overextended, then I took the puts and that paid off. So I'm happy with the bounce back from yesterday's mistake.
100%, man. I'm gonna give a chance for every speaker to say whatever they want to say. No context here. Then we'll get back to whatever. Ricky's part of my team. He's the co-host. I'm gonna throw it to Phil. These are people I trade with live every day. What's up, Ricky?
Yeah, man. Wild 2 days, bro. You feel me? You got to be quick here, man. You better lock them profits, man, or our market's gonna take it back from you. You feel me? No sense trying to be a hero. I feel like I was hoping like today we'll find a direction a bit since Powell came and spoke, but we're still struggling at the 200. And me personally, I'm anticipating a bounce. I mean, nothing is certain, but I am waiting to see. I do know the market tends to do the opposite, what everybody is like, biased for. And a lot of times when the market goes to a key level or an MA, it tends to chop around and it takes a few days before it reclaims it. So we'll see. Nothing is certain though. You just got to be ready, play what's in front of you. I'm all cash. I've been all cash. I trade day by day. I do not swing. I do not hold. So, but I'm just ready. You know how we do it, X. So, yeah, man.
100%, man. Thanks for coming up. We're gonna throw the ball to Phil, man. What's going on? I saw you had saw your calendar, man. Epic year so far.
Yeah, it's been a good year. Glad I've made the changes I've made. We had a good setup in SPY earlier. I'm green on the day, green on the week, green the last 4 weeks. It's been really fun. Actually, I can actually feel myself growing as a trader this month, and I just want to sit there and review, review how my month was, review this month, and take this month moving forward. So, yeah, things have been good. This team is great, man. I appreciate it, and I appreciate these spaces for sure.
100%. We're gonna throw it to Blake, then we're gonna throw it to Rico right after. Blake, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to say, if you're red in this market, don't get discouraged. Don't quit. Like, there's a lot of messed up shit going on, the Russia war, a bunch of stuff. And, like, my inbox is full of people like, man, I'm just quitting. I'm just quitting. Like, this will be the worst time to quit because it's going to be a nice comeback once we get it. Just hang in there, follow your plan. Don't force trades and just keep learning, keep watching.
100%. One thing I want to say is follow all my speakers. I'm about to throw it to Rico. Rico's a good friend of mine. He kills it, man. Be sure to follow him. He's another person just like me, focuses on the mindset.
Rico's a
Mindset is where it's at. So be sure to give him a follow. Without further ado, I'm gonna throw it right to Rico.
Hey, appreciate that, Juicy. Hey man, great year that I'm having right now. I agree with what everybody said as far as, just feeling the growth as a trader, not getting discouraged as well due to the market. Like it is a difficult market to navigate. So doing less is more, and don't give up, keep trading. Just take it easy, learn from all your mistakes, and keep hammering at it.
Yeah, so I just want to just go ahead and tag along from that because I'm getting a lot of, just like Blake said, man, the market right now is really hard to trade. And last year, coming into this year, something I was trying to initiate to new traders is that this is going to be the first year, in theory, without the Fed, right? So when you hit a sell level, we're going to sell. Last year and the last 2 years, and since the pandemic begun, which is, in my opinion, the birth of retail traders over the last 3 years, we are finally, I'm not saying finally, but we are now in a different market, which we have never seen before. What's working in 2021 and 2020 ain't working at all here in 2022. So the question is, one, a lot of times people are taking these ridiculous losses. How can you bounce back, right? And the first things first, you're not going to make any type of progression like until you can get to a point where you can grow. Now, how can you grow without seeing what you're doing? So what I want you to do, and everybody that's listening, is to go back through every trade you took in 2020 and now compare what worked in 2020 to what's not working here in 2021. Now, when you go ahead and do that, you need to start to make adjustments, right? And how are you going to make adjustments? Whether it's maybe I'm over trading. First things first, you got to point out your weaknesses. Maybe you're saying, dude, I'm in these trades, and when I'm in these trades, one candle goes against me, stops me out, then it goes into my favor. Well, that's telling me your hold times are too short, which what that also means is that you're sizing up too much, right? And now that could make you put yourself in a situation where your losses are completely outweighing your gains, and that's just pretty much a downward spiral. Now, before I start ranting, any speaker that wants to hop in, like we're just authentic right now, just because the air is open. So feel free to hop in and stop me and keep going at any time.
Got you.
Yeah,
Man.
I wanted to say, no, I think I told you before, I play semi-professional soccer, so I have to leave in about 20 minutes because I have practice. So I don't know how long you're going to be on or if this is recorded or anything, but I definitely I don't know, what's good? How long is it going to go on? Is it recorded? Everything.
I got room till 2. I got another spaces here at 2. But it's recorded. Okay. I'm gonna put the link out. Don't worry.
Oh, bet. Okay, I can listen to it later because I have to leave in 20 minutes because I've got practice. So, I don't know how long your rant's gonna be, but maybe I should just drop some stuff.
No, drop some gems, man. Drop them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So to piggyback off what the guys have said, guys, it's a difficult market right now. I made a post the other day. I said, if you can trade in this market, or you not even trade, if you can handle this market, like survive in this market, then when the bull market eventually comes, you're going to be good. Like I tell you, I've been in markets like this before and I've crumbled. I've been in markets like this before and I've succeeded. Now, of course, I could only succeed in these kind of markets once I've been through the bad times and failed and blah, blah, blah. But like I said, This market right now, like even yesterday, I told you I made a rookie mistake. I tried to, say, okay, I'm gonna get in now. I thought it was at the bottom. Now we went even lower. Okay, I bounced back, which is what you guys are going to eventually be able to do. But this is the market where a lot of great traders are actually going to be made. You might be like, oh no, man, this market isn't good. I don't like this. I don't want to trade. I mean, people have told me they don't want to trade stocks no more. Like, I'm sure other people on here have experienced that. I understand, right? But as X always says, don't quit. Do not quit. I tell you, because whenever the next bull market comes, 2022, maybe 2023, I don't know, whenever it is, and you're still in that market, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money. If you can handle this kind of market, when they got, all sorts happening, interest rates are going to be slashed, inflation is up, there's political unrest, blah, 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 blah. Look, all that is, those are all different specific factors which are causing market pullbacks, market corrections, all that kind of stuff which is happening now, right? But like I said, when we get to that bull market, when we get to the good times again, you're going to succeed. You're going to be good. You're going to be great. You're going to be way better off. And that also brings me on to another point. If you're in this market right now, you're not beating the indexes, you're not beating SPY or QQQ or whatever, try and see if you can dollar cost average just into getting some longer term plays, because I guarantee you, this is not financial advice, but let's say a Netflix isn't going to be trading at under $400 in a year. I mean, it might, but I don't think it will be. For example, you might try and, but Netflix is not an index, by the way, but I'm just saying different stocks which are undervalued, look into them. If you don't want to look into those, look at ETFs, look at VOO, look at VTI, look at SPY, look at the Qs. Because if you can't outtrade the market, what's the saying? If you can't beat them, join them. If you can't outtrade the market, get the ETFs, get the indexes. Because I guarantee you, a year from now, SPY is not $434. It's up. I guarantee you, a year from now, QQQ is in the 400 range. I guarantee you, so many ETFs, VOO, VTI, are going to be higher than where they are now. So if you're not beating the market, take a step back, join the market, get those ETFs, get those index funds, start investing in your long-term growth. Your portfolio has years left on its life, years left. There's people DM me, they're like, oh, bro, I didn't get this play. I need to play. Why do you need to play? What are you doing today that you need to play today? If you're using that money to get a new house tomorrow, you shouldn't be using that money to trade. You should be thinking about the long-term potential. You don't need that money now. You don't need a trade right now. Think about the growth of your portfolio. You have years. I don't even know how many days left of trading I have. Probably 20,000, 30,000. So many days left of trading. You guys have so much time. And obviously the aim long-term is not to be in these markets every single day. I mean, I know some of you guys up here on stage could take a step back and say, you know what, I'm not trading for the next 2 years. I know you guys could do that. But obviously we're in the markets right now. But long-term, let's say 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, we want to be chilling. We want to be just doing our own thing. We don't want to be in the market 6-7 hours. And that kind of brings me on to one last final point. X always talks about it. If you're in the market 6-7 hours a day, 8 hours a day, from pre-market to after hours, take a step back. Say, hey, the first part of the day went good. Okay, I'm done for today. I traded the first 2-3 hours. I'm done for the day. Set your limits. It might even go the other way. First, couple trades I took today were bad. I'm done for the day. And sometimes it might not even be I'm done for the day. Let me take an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour walk, or go do something else. Grab an Xbox, do something else, and come back. Let me see what's good. If you're in there, you're in the market, you take a loss, you try and bounce back right away, you take another loss. It starts affecting your mental. You start thinking, oh, I can't do this. Oh, the market's against me. I've been there, guys. I've been there. I've taken 2-3 losses in 1 hour. And what did I do? Try and get back straight away. Lose more. Oh, the market's against me. The market don't like me. Oh, this and that. It's not fair. Oh, it's his fault. It's her fault. Nah. Stand up. Go do something else. You're not going to be focused on that one single market day. That 7 hours doesn't mean anything in the whole context of things. That 5-6 hours, those 2-3 trades don't mean anything in the whole context of the market. You have thousands of days left to trade. You have tens of thousands of days left of life to live and enjoy. Why did you let the market, what the market does on a Tuesday afternoon affect your whole mood for days, for weeks? Don't let that happen, guys. I'm telling you, we can kick these markets, but we got to play the long game. Forget about what happened today, yesterday. Of course, you should still journal. You should still note down what you did. But forget about that in the overall context of things. The small losses are not going to kill you. The small gains are not going to make you a perfect trader. But it's the consistency. It's the hanging in there. It's the not giving up. It's all the stuff that these guys are about to tell you. It's all the stuff that these guys have told you 1,000 times before. I'm telling you guys, hang in there, play the long game, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and focus again, on the long game. The long game. That's what I want you guys to take away from everything I've said. The long game, the overall perspective. Don't think about what happened today, what happened yesterday. Don't think about what happened in those past 2-3 trades. Think about your overall trades for the month. Then, the quarter, then the year, then the past 2 years, 3 years. How are you doing then? I don't care if you lost 10,000 yesterday. In the past year, what did you lose? What did you win? What's your profit? What's your loss? All that kind of stuff. I want you guys to take that away from what I'm telling you guys today.
100%, man. Be sure to follow Wealth Prince before he leaves. Always dropping gems. Everybody on my speaker panel here is pretty much extremely underfollowed, guys. Be sure to go ahead and follow everybody here. Does anybody else want to piggyback off that? Josh, you had a question?
Yeah, Juice. Thanks. And that was fantastic, Wealth Prince. That was great. Just bringing that perspective. Thank you. Juicy, when you do weekly calls or puts, and so I work a 9-to-5 job, right? Would the news of the day impact any setup that I put in maybe the night before? And how do I go about then changing my strategy? Do I need to watch what's happening because I have a 9-to-5 job, but I want to be semi-involved in trading? Is that even possible? Do you recommend that? What do you follow where I'm going with this?
Yeah, so here's the thing, man. If you're going to work a 9-to-5, it's going to be harder for you to trade intraday. You really want to be more of a swinger, maybe even a shorter term kind of swinger, right? You buy today, sell 3 days later. But the point of the matter is, if you're working a 9-to-5, if you have the capital requirements for it, go at least bi-weekly, right? Because there's times, even, like you have a stop there. TD Ameritrade's very famous for this. They'll jump that stop. And now you're looking at the stop like, damn, man, now I'm down, whatever. And that's the win big loss that'll end up hurting you. Me personally, to answer your question, for me, it's all about charts, levels. I still don't know if Tesla beat or missed earnings. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even pay attention to that kind of thing. I do pay attention to the Powell stuff. You know what I mean? Like the bigger stuff that will affect the direction of SPY, because SPY is going to dictate the market. But individual tickers, unless it's something extreme, news isn't important. It's all about levels, right? Because you can have a good news event, and then that news comes out and it gaps down, right? Like we see that all the time. So set the levels there. Now, if you're going to try to day trade, you're going to really want to look into automation of trades while you're working. So I have something called auto triggers, which are conditional orders. I mean, in theory, and I like to say this before for the record speaking, I think a lot of traders, if they dwindle their trading down to their top 3 stocks and they make these plans, buy here, sell here, and they put conditional orders, the meaning if price breaks here, automatically sell me. If price does this, I'm wrong, automatically get me out. Here's my target, automatically sell me. I think 9 out of 10 people would do like way better than what they do. So if you're going to either go trade while you work, either find a way to automate these day trades with conditional orders, or 2, start looking at longer term plays, right? Because a longer term play will allow you to sit in it. And there are times, just like in the day trade, you get in day trade, you get win, you're long, you get one red candle. In theory, you're not going to sell just because that candle's red. It's all about levels. So same thing here with a swing trade. You're at work, you get a nice move up in your direction. The next day you get a move against you. You can feel confident because you have the time to sit inside those trades. But you have to look longer term. So my advice to you is, while you're figuring this part out, look at longer term plays to get your feet wet, and then you can start dabbling on simulation and other things and see what's going to work for you.
That's cool. Okay, yeah, I haven't put in any trades just yet. I've been kind of like mentally thinking about it and preparing it before I put any capital into the market. I figure the more mentally prepared I am to put money in the market, the better off I'll be. So I've sort of held off on putting anything in the market right now, because I guess I needed to rationalize that with my, in my head first before I dropped any money into the market. So.
Word, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Yeah. So the topic here is how can we be successful? How can you become a successful trader? And like everybody here that's listening, newbies, professional, whatever. Here's, you got to ask yourself, bro, am I going to be doing, the dumb shit I've been doing last year? I mean, What's your New Year resolution? What's your plan to be better? Because the goal is to get better here at chasing, right? At trading, right? So, like for me, I look back and I saw some, some rookie mistake that I made last year. I could have been, ahead of the game if I would have just, follow my parameter, my criterias, and not be, not trade like an amateur. And what does that mean? All right, fast forward 2022. Now we have the opportunity to fix this, like, chasing and oversizing and like fucking chasing Amazon and Tesla every day for no reason. It doesn't even have volume. Like all these shit, you got to weed out. Like knowing that when we have the Fed on, you're not gonna go all in. You're not gonna chase, because a lot of people got hurt yesterday trying to chase the top and the bottom. Like when Paul was speaking, I told myself I'm only gonna wait. I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna wait. And those are just little things you can do. As for me, that's what I promised myself. I made a pinky promise to myself, like this year, no dumb shit, Rick. Like you can't be trading like amateur. You got to be trading like a professional. And like, I remember vividly, like I used to trade quad witching, and bro, I always got smoke. I know at that time OPEX, like shit's just gonna expire. So point I want to make is like, if you're really serious about this, man, you want to know, you want to know your weakness and your strengths. And for me, my strength is like, bro, like the first 30 minutes of the market, man. A lot of times when I stay around and I over freaking trade, I either was up big and then I'm digging myself out of the hole to come back, and took me all day. But if I would have just locked my gain and walk away, I wouldn't even have to like, spend all that commission. I wouldn't have to deal with that mental stress. So ask yourself this. Like, do you want to be a pro trader or an amateur trader? You feel me? And do you really want to get better? If you want to get better, well, you can't be doing dumb shit. You can't be chasing FOMO, and you got to wait on your setup and how you approach shit. So I just want to add that there. It starts with the little details, man. It's just like a painting. When you start painting, bro, like you put in the colors in and all that shit, bro, but then it's the details that count. And it's just like trading. So that's just my 2 cents there.
Also, to tag in on that, one area a lot of people, and this brought this up when you started speaking. One area a lot of people don't really realize is that we all have destructive behaviors as traders, right? Like a professional trader tunes out all the noise. I was in Rivian today, and I was short. The market in theory, started to get like a nice green candle while I was short, and a lot of people shook out of that trade because that the green candle here. So for me, what I'm trying to say is you need to follow your plan. Now, when you start deviating from that plan, what is a plan? A plan is basically, like I said before, your entries, your exits, your stops before you get in. You have a structure-based system of a process that you can repeat, and you dwindle it down to I'm only trading these 4 trades or whatever, right? But when we start talking about destructive behaviors, you're going to trade 4 trades today. Why at the end of the day, you got 13 trades on the book. And out of those 13 trades, it's not like you traded the same 4 tickers back to back to back. You traded a lot of times not even the 4 trades that you came into the market watching. You got a focus list, but you're not focusing on your focus list. Another thing that people, shoot themselves in the foot with is just going too fast, man. Slow it down. You don't got to be in every tick. You don't got to be in every, you know what I mean? You don't got to be a part of every move. There's always another bus, right? People trying to, again, focus on the money. You focus on the money. You're thinking Ferrari, Lamborghini, when you should be thinking consistency, right? Then once you get consistency and have that and maintain that for a couple of years, then you start thinking Ferrari, Lamborghini, right? So just the ideology of social media of what it means to actually be a trader is so fluffed and disconnected from reality that it really puts the perception of wealth, of the creation of wealth, to be so easy obtainable. But again, this is still a long-term game. Can it happen? It will happen. But however, you got to get to the point where you're not presenting these destructive behaviors such as over trading, stuff of that actual nature. That way, over the long term, you guys will be okay.
Yeah, and going off of that, just like piggybacking off of what Rick was saying, quit doing the dumb shit. Well, these these new traders coming into the market, they don't know what dumb shit is, right? So how do you figure out what the dumb shit is? Well, you got to log your trades. You got to record it. You have to study your behavior as a trader. You have to recognize your faults. You have to accept your faults. You have to understand that you are being wrong when you lose. Like, it's not the market's fault. It's your fault. You did this wrong, right? So logging your trades is the best way to understand what you're doing wrong and what dumb shit is, right? So you got to start there, and that's just the best advice anybody's ever given me, for sure, is to log those trades, take those screenshots, figure out where you entered, where you exited, why did you enter, why did you exit.
Yeah, man. And you know, as for these traders, don't focus on like buying the dips and freaking trading. Yo, focus on one thing, bro. And when you're done, when you did your job, you leave the desk. Or, you know, I mean, it's very hard to sit at the desk and not trade, even for me. Um, but for new traders, man, like, you know, you ask yourself, what, you really take this shit serious? Well, if you take it serious and you really want to make money, man, you got to learn to be, you got to be consistent, locking in, like, small gains first. Be realistic with yourself, because the problem is, a lot of people are like so obsessed with the short-term gratitude of like, yeah, I could take like 100 to 1,000, and a lot of times that shit doesn't work out well. You can get lucky, because hard works meet luck meet hard work and preparation sometimes. But for the most part, bro, you gotta have realistic goals, man. And you gotta take it one step at a time, brick by brick. Build that shit up, bro, because you could mess around, and example yesterday, like Powell speaking, and at one time the shit's going ripping to the upside, and if you were to just get FOMO and I'm like, fuck, I'm going all in, you could have just blown your account on one measly bad decision. And check this out, like one of our trader, he says like, your trading is like a house, bro, right? Now you have all the material you need to build a house. Does it go up instantly? Nah, you're gonna have to frame it. You're gonna have to freaking like, put up your drywalls. You're gonna have to tile it. You're gonna do all that shit. But unfortunately, one bad incident can just tear it down in a day. So you gotta think like that. You gotta build your account up. You feel me? You gotta like take day by day approach. Some days you're gonna be green. Some days, man, you're just gonna just break even, but never, always have in the back of your mind, like, yo, you're thinking about the monthly and the weekly. What am I doing to get this account up this week? So don't think day by day. As if you have a risk management strategy, you shouldn't be losing a lot. You should respect your stop. You should accept the stop. You feel me? You should take it happily and freaking understand that, yo, stops can be healthy too. It's a healthy loss for me, and I might need to recheck. I fall back. So it's a process, bro, but it's doable. But it takes, it's a process, and a lot of people, want to skip the process and be in the result, and unfortunately work for some, and for others. And when I say works for some, yeah, you will see people like take say example 1,000 or 50 grand. But here's where it sucks, bro. Imagine you make a lot of money from trading, and you're up 100 freaking thousand, and you do not know how to keep it, and you end up losing it because you had no risk management. You got lucky, and I've seen it happen over and over, guys. Like, it's better to learn the small principles now and learn how to grow the small account versus YOLO and shit, because when you create that bad habit, the market will eventually take it back. And fortunately,
Yep.
for a lot of new traders, when this new market came around, it's not 2020 no more. You feel me? So yeah, I don't want to shark up the mic, but go ahead, guys. My bad.
Yo, just to tag along with that, one thing that he said is basically when you're done, you should walk away. It's like, listen, the hardest thing to teach a new trader is literally walking away. And what people don't realize,
you heard me say this. You heard Michael Crow say this. I'm looking at anywhere between 300-400 charts a day. Like you need to resonate that. Like today, when I came into my trading day, I had over 700 alerts placed in my, in my thing, right? So here's the thing. I'm sitting here hours on end preparing. But today unfolds, I'm done. I think we're done at like 11 o'clock, 10:45, 11. Done. Day's over. 3 for 4, 51-day win streak goes on. Done, right? Now at this point, what are you going to do? You came into the plan. You came into the day with a plan. You executed that plan. You did a good job. Walk away, man. Like, why is it that you have to catch every move, right? At what point does the risk of you just trading at certain times of the day after you execute outweigh the reward? Because if you think about it, yeah, today, we are seeing the market drift down in the second half of the day, but majority of the time the market does nothing. So in theory, every time I want you guys, and I'm gonna say something a little funny, just remember this. Every time you trade after you execute your plan, which is usually the second half of the day, just imagine a bunch of nickels there and a big ass bulldozer coming down the street. Are you going to try to pick up those nickels in front of that damn bulldozer and really risk getting flattened, right? So at the end of the day, execute your plan, walk away, and maybe have a touch of what the market's doing. Maybe you have some levels there that you're seeing. Maybe you're thinking this chart's going to close inside, and then the next day it's going to go up. You know what I mean? But have a touch of the market, but stay the fuck away from the market, because the more you trade, the more you risk, and the more you risk, the higher the probability, which the probabilities are always against you, the higher the probability is you're going to end up losing. And when you lose, this is the problem, is how much do you lose, right? Because it's not really about making money. It's really about how much you make when you're right and how much you lose when you're wrong. And if you basically lose a lot more when you're wrong than you make when you're right, you're having issues here. And the easiest way to combat that is to slow it the fuck down. Slow down. Like, so many people are just like, they're out of buying power at 9:20 and 9:32. You know what I mean? Like slow it down so you can execute your plan and stop being all over the damn place, man.
Crazy, bro. Crazy, man. But yeah, I for real, man. Like, like the market is selling off here. Yeah, I always use this analogy, guys. Like, you remember those game shows we used to watch when people used to, you're like spinning the wheel and you're like up 1,000, and the guy's like, well, if you wanna risk 1,000 to make 30 grand or walk away with 1,000,
Yep.
and then you go risk 1,000, you're like, you fucking lost everything now, bro. Like, you could have walked away up, and that's how you got to look at it. For me, I get such a good feeling from when I review and I have my calendar for the month and I'm all green, and then I have 1 or 2 or 3 red trades out of 30 days, because that boosts my confidence more. And this all changed. Honestly, I want to say this too. Sometimes for me, I was not disciplined, and I want to point out, like, when I go back and I look at like my months before, how they were like red, green, green. Like, it was no structure, right? It was just like all over the place. I felt, for me, I matured as a trader in the game, because yeah, you could talk about discipline, and a lot of us, we knew to put a stop loss on when we first start trading, but we ignore that, right? But after a while of getting smacked and getting hurt, you matured in the game, and you understand, like, yo, you just don't do this. And for me, that's how I had to learn. It took time, but that's why people need a mentor, honestly, because like when you try to just do this shit on your own, man, it's so much trials and error. And if you don't have, like, for me, luckily I had business going where I could make money to sustain my trading, you feel me? But for new traders, bro, like, you can't be doing dumb shit, because this will just eat your profits up, man. Eat your profits up. But yeah, I'm gonna let some other speaker come on who would like to go here.
Boss lady's coming up here.
You feel me? We got a bunch of knowledge here. We got the Wealth Prince, Rico, Corey, you know what I mean? The whole gang. So the goal is, right? The goal is to always, the goal is to push the account forward, guys. Remember that. Never forget it. And we're never going to take big freaking losses that's out of control and nasty. And how we avoid that, we avoid over leveraging. We avoid, like, yeah, I mean, Amazon is sexy to trade when you see the profits, but remember, like, you don't gotta trade that shit every day, bro. Like, there's so many other plays, bro, to make money from. Like, one more thing before I go, I just want to point out, when shit started turning around for me, I used to buy Tesla, I used to buy Amazon on a small account, which was so dumb, bro. I used to spend like freaking $2,000 on one contract on Amazon, right? And that gave me no wiggle room, bro. And would I make money, but then I would lose money, and it's just, when you lose with options, you lose way more, right? So what I figured out is, bro, I could go buy freaking Facebook, or like, say, PayPal at the time, and I could have got like 5 contracts or like 4, and I could scale out. I could just go in and I'm up and I take some off. So I started doing that more. So just know, when you're trying to grow an account, it's certain stocks you want to stay away, because they are account killers versus builders, and you need to learn to trade and have a strategy to trade. Don't just chase because you see P&Ls on Twitter, the gram. Yeah, some those stocks will kill you if you're really trying to grow. You play those when they are ready, when it has a critical setup, when it's about to go, when people are, that's when you play those. Don't get addicted to those, man. They will break your account, man.
Yeah, man. So if you got a new account, and I think Twitter has the perception of this. In fact, when I started my smaller account, you guys saw me do this last year. I took $5K, pretty much brought it up to 90 in about 6 months. The first 3 months of me trading that account wasn't pretty, man. It was like $200, $100 here. Sometimes I'll have some good runners and I would get like $500 a day, but I was just consistent. And because that account was growing, there's a book called The Compound Effect. You can apply that here. Now, a lot of people don't like to apply this to trading or say that this doesn't work, because they say, hey, if you take one loss, you have a bigger loss in theory. But if you're trading your plan, like there's a reason why most people take a 3K account and they get it to a 25K account, and then they come back from 25K back to 3K, and they're like, oh, this isn't the same. It's because you treat it differently. Like you're compounding that 3K account at a proper measure. Like, I met with a student who did this. He took 1,500, he took it up to 28, and then I was like, okay, well, look, this is what we got to do. Let's compound this to 1 million. And when I started bringing up the million number, he started laughing. He's like, yo, this is crazy. But what's the difference? What's the difference between you taking an account from 1 to 28 versus account from 28 to 1 mil? I know that there's extra zeros, but it's fucking numbers game, man. So focus on compounding. And when you compound, don't let these numbers affect you, because greed comes into play. But when you start seeing real money, because a lot of us, especially somebody like me, come from areas where you don't really have so much money, right? So for the first time in your life, you have this abundance of money. So you start trading different. And that's where people fuck up when they start compounding, because it's like, dude, I compounded from 1 to 28. Now I can go from 28 to 1 million. And now all of a sudden you stepped out of your plan and you involved in Tesla. What? And you never traded Tesla before. And that's what happens. And you compounded that loss on a Tesla trade. A Tesla loss ain't like an Apple loss, right? That thing stings, man. And honestly, you try to put a percentage on Tesla, that thing, you put it there for 15%. A lot of times when you get stopped out, it's like 26.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 24. And it's like, oh, I took this bigger loss. So you're like, oh, okay, I'll just make it back. And then that's how you shoot yourself in the foot. Like, when you have no money to trade with, you are legitly forced to follow a plan. And like, I have a student who's 19. He took, you guys know who he is. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't like putting people's business out there. But he took 5K up to 140K. And now he's like, dude, when I got to 140K, my first experience, I went all the way back down to 2K. So what I do now is I take my account from 5K to 50K and I reset it every time. Guess what? He's withdrawing every month and a half, big 40K profit. So just imagine making basically 40K every month and a half. You know what I mean? So you need to focus on your plan and then compound it. And then once you get that compound there, just keep doing what you're doing, bro. You'll be successful.
crazy how that works, bro. Because like for me, I never understand that. Like, all right, for example, guys, like, you know, Juicy taught me. I mean, not everything, but I'll tell you this: like, Juicy put the show me how to put the pieces together, right? And one main key thing that worked for me was using a dollar amount. So for example, like on Thinkorswim, instead you just go buying like 3 contracts, 4 or 5. I'm trading with 1,000, and I'm gonna every time I take a trade, I'm using 1,000. And what Thinkorswim will do, it just buys it, whether it's Apple, whatever setup, whether which stock has the setup that I like. I just use 1,000, say for number's sake. Now, what does it just, so if it's Tesla, I only could get one. If it's Apple, I get 10, or so on. And me being able to manage the dollar amount on a percentage basis is so much better for me as a trader, because I know from 1,000, if I'm down like more than 100, I need to get out. You feel me? So I could be 10% of that or 15%. So once I start doing that, I was able to have more structure and more risk management, and then once you start compounding and you follow your percentage, you're up 20%, you start locking in, and another thing for me is scaling was like very, very key turning point, because when you get in a trade, you could start taking off, locking in profit, and now you're in the driver's seat. You just need to just like ride it to target, move your stop up to break even. So a lot of these things were Juicy taught me. I'll say that. So it's very important to use a percentage base, because that's how you're gonna manage your account. And hey, the wildest thing that blew my mind, bro, like, bro, Juicy takes the same trades with us, right? Same trades on a larger account, but he's getting out of for 20%. I'm in it too. I'm like, yo, I'm at 20%, Juice. But it's the same principle that manage a freaking small account that manage a big account. And once you understand that, man, like the compound effect, you feel me? You lock in at 20, you let 2 rides, you lock in at 50, bro, you up 100K, same process. You're locking in at, you're selling at 10, you're locking in at 50. With your system and your risk management and what you are willing to trade with, bro, when it comes together, it doesn't matter how much money you have, like, 100K, a mil, bro, you could trade. And it's the small principles you use to trade a big account. And I see it and I witness it, and I see Juicy do it every day, bro. Juicy be out at 20% and he up 40K, and I'm out at 20% and I'm only up 300. But that's just how it is. It's all about the numbers. You feel me? So I just want to add that, like, focus on like the number amount. That helped me a lot.
Yeah, and I'm going to tag in here because we're going to get into wrap ups. I'm going to throw the ball to everybody for final statements. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and start. One area where every trader needs to really realize is, in addition to becoming and focusing on the right things, one area where you need to focus on and understand that this is going to be a long game, right? You might join a chat room, and if you join a chat room, you might make some money trading somebody else's plays. And don't think that makes you a trader. Like, you taking that analogy in the concept is like saying, hey, I picked up a guitar today and I learned how to play a song on YouTube. You still didn't make that song your own. Like, you know what I mean? You didn't create that song. So the same things apply here for trading. In order for you to get to that point where you can write your own songs and make your own trades, you have to focus on progression. Like, can you go back and say, over the course of the last 3 months, I am a better trader. Over the course of the last 6 months, I am a better trader. Over that time, where people mess up, they focus on P&L. They're like, did I make money? Did I make money? Did I make money? It should be more like, did I make progress? Do I understand more? Do I see myself becoming? Do I see the pieces coming together? Because to be honest with you, a lot of traders out here are just one piece of information away, one thing that makes it click. Like Rick says, putting that piece together, putting it all together for you from that success you've been lacking on. I always tell people straight up, you're just a couple steps away from being a 7-figure trader. A lot of it's discipline, but a lot of it's just weighing a little thing. And somebody said something about a mentor. Man, don't tell me you're going to come up here in this game and not talk to somebody that knows what they're doing and you're just going to be successful. And if you're not, come on, B, like, listen, that's the reason why 95% of people fail. And if you're going to, that means there's only a 5% chance of you passing. So unless you're one of those guys like Elon Musk that could just go against the odds and you have the work ethic to stay up and work 19-hour work days. If you don't have that in you, which most of us don't, I mean, me personally, I do 18-hour work days. He got me beat. But the point of the matter, if you don't have that in you, go around and find somebody that can help you. And it's okay to go from place to place. It's okay to spend a little bit of money, you know what I mean, from person to person. Because what's going to happen is they're going to help you piece it together. You're going to get a couple pieces from different people. You're going to see what resonates with you. But once you piece it together, it's all worth it, man. Like, seriously, bro, it's better than you putting money into this market and then going down and out, discouraged, mad, people mad at you. You know what I mean? So go down the right way, do it the right way, and focus on progression. And once you progress, focus on becoming break even, then focus on becoming profitable. And then you got no choice but to succeed, man. That's all it is. But we're going to throw it around the room.
I want to say something quickly, please.
What's up? I didn't even know you was up here.
Yeah. Okay. So what I think people should do, because honestly, something really resonated that Rico said on one of the previous calls about knowing who you are as a trader. And so I was down earlier, just like last week or whatever, I was red. And that was because I tried to swing Microsoft. Shit, I'm not a swinger. I think it's really important to figure out who you are as a trader, whether you're a swing trader, a scalper, you know what I mean? Like, and I think I had put out that like TraderSync really helped me figure that out. And I also think that even when you're trading, you have to have, of course, along with the fundamentals, the flow, the technicals, and all of that, you have to have conviction about what you're trading. Because if you don't believe in it, which I realized was a problem for me, like I couldn't stay in the trade, and that's why I do so well on Tesla. I have very strong conviction. I understand, how it flows and the entry and the exit levels. I do very well on Tesla. I wouldn't tell anybody else to trade it, but I think that most people know now that follow me like that. That's my moneymaker. But one of the things that I will say is like, don't look to your left or to your right at what anybody else is doing, and stay focused, especially if you have a mentor. Follow your mentor, don't follow your friend, and don't try to rush. Like, you're not going to be able to, I might not be able to buy a Lambo. I might be able to buy a Lincoln, but like, I might not ever be able to buy a Lambo. Like, I don't know, but I just need to have tunnel vision. Like, don't aspire to be anybody else, but your very best self, and figure out and find your niche within trading. And right now, with the market so screwed up, I just feel like everybody should be studying, because I think that's the biggest reason why people are blowing up their accounts. They're suffering from education deprivation, right? I mean, people just really need to study, because the market changes from one year to the other. Like, I just feel like I'm a forever student. And I just feel like so many of us are suffering from education deprivation, and we need to study to get better, because that's what it's going to take, to really become a successful trader, and over a period of time to grow your account. There's an old proverbs that says that slow and steady wins the race, and that needs to be everybody's focus.
Man, those are some serious gems, man. Be sure to follow Boss Lady. Matter of fact, follow everybody on this panel, man. We're going to keep the ball rolling with final thoughts. I got to take another call here at 2. We'll throw it to Rico, then we're going to throw it to Phil. What's going on, man?
Hey, Boss Lady kept it all the way 100, man. And that's why I really wasn't saying much now, because, I needed to listen. Everywhere I'm trying to go, Juicy has been, and he's at right now. You know what I'm saying? So if I understand that, I'm like, man, I need to soak these gems up, because the things that he's talking about are things that I've personally done countless times. Like, it's not even funny how many times I've done it, rushing the process, and now I'm getting way more disciplined. And that's why things are working out this year, just battling back from what I told you about the end of last year, it's still things I got to work on to this day. I got to consciously make moves every single day to battle myself. So, I love everything you talked about with discipline, over trading, compounding. I'm big on compounding right now. And, just getting back in that zone of what you said, like, it's a lot of things that could have even went further if I would have heard this sooner as far as compounding, with snatching at 20%, with snatching at 30%. I tell people all the time, man, go for that 10, go for that 20. I started swinging, catching a couple 50%, 100%ers. I got to understand, like, Rico, you're not going to catch those all the time, bro. Sometimes all that's going to come out of the trade is 20% at the most. Sometimes 10% at the most. So you got to take what the market gives you, bro, compound and move on to the next. Moving on to the next. I think sometimes we get it twisted in this trading game to think that it's going to be that one trade that's going to take us to the moon. But nah, man, it's all of the trades that we taking that's going to take us to the moon. So we got to keep that in mind. I personally got to keep that in mind. I got to make sure I'm disciplined, man. So, I love everything y'all talked about today, man. That's why I was just listening in, bro. Y'all dropped a lot of gems. And I can't wait to listen to this over again, man, because this one was the truth, bro. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you for coming on, man. As always, that's Rico. Underfollowed as hell. Follow Rico. Going to throw it to Phil next. What's going on, Phil?
What's up? Just a couple things to say here. The best advice I could probably give anybody coming into this game is once you have your technical analysis and you can read a chart and you've paper traded and you've proven a plan, the next best thing you can do is work on those emotions. The best way to work on those emotions, in my opinion, is if you're a day trader. I'm strictly a day trader now. I don't swing or none of that. What I do is I got my active trader up. You set your stop. You set your profit target, right? You click that button, you're in the trade, and you just let it fly. You let whatever happen, right? It's not on you anymore. If it's a good setup, you got faith in your plan, you're taking that 20%, you set that sell limit for 20%, and you take your money, and you just repeat your process. That's how I got started being consistent, was I just set it, and whatever happened, and you just got to let it go. And if you got a good plan, you got a good setup, it should all fall into place. And that's just one good way to control those emotions, because if you don't have a stop set and you're just watching the chart and you're looking for that, you're going to see your P&L and you're going to get anxious, you're going to get whatever, you're going to rip that trade off, and it's going to go it's going to go right to your target or whatever, and you took it off too early. So
100%.
Yeah, just make sure that you work on those emotions, because that's one thing that nobody up here can teach you, how to control your emotions, or nobody can give you that self-control that you're also going to need. So one good book that we've gone through is Trading in the Zone. Everybody recommends it. There's a reason why everybody recommends that book. Read it. Take the time to process that book and really use the knowledge that's in there. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, man. I want to add something short real quick. As far as stops, I'll tell you this. I was reading this book, and a lot of times we hear traders saying we using mental stops and all of that. Yo, bro, I'll tell you this. If you're not experienced, avoid it. You should put a stop on right away as you go in a trade, because you know what the mental stop does? It opens the door for emotions, man. And quick example, like if you're in a trade, bro, and the stock, you're like, all right, I'm gonna cut at the 9 MA, but the stock is now at the 9 EMA. You could have got out for 10% loss right there, but you're like, well, it's gonna bounce, but then it dips underneath it, and you're like, shit, oh, it's under. Let me wait until the candle close, and you're like, all right, the candle closed, and then now the 21 is there. Let's see if it bunks at the 21, bro. If you would have just cut at the freaking stop, bro, you would have saved so much time and money and brain power, bro. So mental stops, is a gateway for bringing in emotions. And when you trade, you want to just be like a machine, bro, like a machine. You don't want to be thinking, because a second can cost you money, bro, and it's crazy. Take the stop now, get over the hurt, and just keep it moving.
100%, man. Appreciate it. That's Phil and Ricky. These are two of my top students now on audio feed, trading with me live every day, man. So good shit to them. We're going to throw it to another one of my students who's now a monster. What's up, Blake? If you have any comments, feel free to say it.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to say, just give everybody a follow on this panel. They're always dropping gems, and I'm always here enjoying this. But, yeah, I guess you guys basically covered everything. Just don't give up. Keep your head up. Study. Log them trades, boy.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Juicy Gems. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Also, visit juicytrades.org and join the trading community for live training videos, trade alters, or start training with the Learn, Grow, Profit Trader training program. That's juicytrades.org.